Hey there, everyone. I am back again today to talk about our next competency, which is social problem solving. So, just like with all of the other competencies that we've gone over so far, which you can see listed here, we will go over a kind of a kid-friendly definition that you can use when you're teaching this. We'll also go over a couple of activities and some picture books that can be used. So, we're about halfway through our series at this point. This is our sixth competency. So let's dive right in. So social problem solving is the process of finding a solution to a problem, right? So last time, if you've been following along, we talked about conflict resolution and finding that peaceful solution. And conflict resolution focused in terms of the activities that we were looking at, a lot on helping kids understand how to talk about their conflict, how to build an apology, how to use I feel statements. And then this is sort of the other part of conflict resolution, right? We have to know how to communicate the problem and whatever the disagreement is, but then we actually have to find a solution to the problem. So that's what we're doing here. So some of the activities that we can use, and these go along with the activities that we talked about last time, right? We can kind of use these in tandem since these two competencies align really well with one another. So respectful disagreement is something that seems to be really, really lacking these days, right, in our society. How do we disagree with somebody respectfully? That's something that we need to teach kids. And we can do this with our really younger kids, excuse me. But then we really need to go deeper into this with our older kids. And when we're talking about debating something, at the high school level, and getting into some of those social justice issues and what our opinions are on things, they have to be able to understand how they go about respectfully disagreeing. So that's what I mean by that term. Now, there are lots of different ways that we can practice problem solving. There are lots of different task cards that you can find out there on Teachers Pay Teachers or in different education stores online that you can print off, where kids have the opportunity to practice how they would solve a problem in different situations. The other thing that sometimes we forget about as adults is that fostering independence and problem solving is really important. So yes, we need to teach kids what are the steps of problem solving. And we can do that through teaching them the problem solving procedure or using a problem solving map. These are all things on our list as well. But at some point, we also have to kind of step back and let kids do it. And that can be really, really hard for adults, right? Let them foster that independence of coming up with solutions on their own and trying to work out things with their siblings or their friends. And maybe those solutions are not going to be what we would have chosen, but we really need to give them the autonomy to do that, because how else are they going to learn, right? So let's give them the tools, but then let's trust them enough to give it a go. Big problem versus little problem is helping kids understand truly what is a big problem in their lives and what is a little problem. Because as we know, when it comes to kids, most problems are big problems if we ask their opinion, right? So we need to help them understand what truly is a big problem versus what is a little problem. So I use this one all the time at home with my own kids when they are melting down about things, and it may be something as simple as tonight we were decorating cookies, and the icing, we didn't need it enough, and so it was a little runny when they were piping it on, and it became catastrophic. And so we were talking like, is this a big problem or a little problem, right? This is a little problem. And sure, it's frustrating and it seems like a big deal in the moment, but at the end of the day, we're decorating cookies that we're going to eat in 5 minutes. This is a little problem. We have much bigger things out there that we can save our worry and anxiety for, right? A really good tool for teaching problem solving and having kids practice problem solving is wordless books and videos. There are lots of these out there. You can Google wordless books, wordless videos, and get all sorts of ideas. And so that's a great way for kids to kind of tell the story of what's happening. And as we know, most stories have a problem and a solution, right? And so they can kind of come up with their own and practice that within the context of those wordless books. All right. So, some books that we can use that are not necessarily wordless to support this social emotional learning competency. So, again, we have lots of different books on here. I know, I just can't seem to get away from these Diane Elber books, can I? There's like at least 2 on every list. They're that good. But we also have lots of other ones. What do you do with a problem? That's a great one. And there's kind of a series of books that go along with that. Last Stop on Market Street. And then My Strong Mind, a story about developing mental strength. So there are just lots of great books out there. But these are specifically going to be kind of tackling that idea of problem solving, even though that's embedded, within the context naturally of fiction books. These are more specifically about that topic. But then don't be afraid to check out those wordless books. There are lots of really, really great ones, and it's such a great opportunity for kids to really get creative in their problem solving and practice it. So, all right, that's all I have for you today. Again, as always, if you have ideas, book ideas, activity ideas, comments, questions, leave them for me in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. And I will see you back here next time when we tackle our next competency. And we're more than halfway through, so there aren't too many left. So thanks for joining me today.